Now, your forecast first, sponsored by Matex Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Ooh, hottest day that we have had so far this season. That occurred today. Big time warmth out there. That is the Roofing Dog on at Bratcher weather camera. Sunshine in full effect. Hardly a cloud in the sky today. And we still sit in the 90s in some areas, including Champaign at 90 degrees. Look at Chicago right now, sitting at 94. Big time warmth will continue again tomorrow, but along with that, the chance for storms. This evening, staying pretty warm. The only saving grace we've had today, the humidity has been low. It's been that, what they call in the Southwest, a dry heat. We're going to come back, talk about the severe threat that could go along with the storms tomorrow, so stick around. WCIA 3 News.
Now on WCIA 3 News.
More than a dozen people were arrested after businesses were burglarized and looted. What happened to them today in court?
Ability to handle the volume of calls that's coming in all at once is kind of difficult.
One department is running from fire to fire. Just how many have happened in the past 48 hours?
We think with this family of approaches, we will preserve our excellence.
What the U of I plans to do to steady the ship and which big names are taking pay cuts to do it.
You're watching your local news leader. This is WCIA 3 News at 6.
Dozens of people arrested after Sunday's unrest in Champaign were in court for the first time today. They face a variety of charges, but most are accused of burglary. Good evening, I'm Jennifer Roscoe. Some of their bonds were as high as $50,000, but one group is trying to help them. WCIA 3's Courtney Bunting is live in Urbana. Courtney, what are they trying to do?
Well, Jennifer, this group is offering to pay these people's bonds. Now, they're called the Champaign County Bailout Coalition, and they spent the afternoon today on this sidewalk telling friends and loved ones that they could help pay and free their loved ones. 27 people arrested after Sunday night's protests and looting were in Champaign County Court. They faced charges ranging from burglary to mob action to aggravated battery to a police officer. But despite those accusations, one group of volunteers says they feel those people should be free. They're part of the Champaign County Bailout Coalition, and they spent their day outside the courthouse handing out information on how they can help with bail payments.
If someone had enough money to get out, they would be out. The only reason they'd be in jail is because they can't afford to be out of jail.
Megan McDonald stood with them today, handing out flyers. Her friend was arrested for mob action. The Champaign County State's attorney says she threw a glass bottle at police when they were trying to break things up. But McDonald feels her friend's $50,000 bond is still too high.
I just know that she wasn't violent and she wasn't stealing anything or breaking anything, and she got arrested on mob action. Nobody should have to stay in jail an excessive amount of time because they can't afford their bail minimum.
Some Champaign County police officers were physically assaulted in that Sunday night through Monday morning. But none of them were seriously hurt. But 4 of their vehicles, though, were damaged. Reporting in Urbana, Courtney Bunting, WCIA 3, your local news leader.
Thank you, Courtney. The majority of those arrested were from Champaign County. One was from Kankakee. Bails range from as low as $7,500 to, like we said, $50,000. Jacksonville police are investigating after several people broke into the Walmart there. They say the suspects got in after hours late last night. Police say they took several items and took off. They saw a car speeding away and tried to do a traffic stop, but the car didn't stop. They later found it abandoned after a chase on Caldwell with what they think are some of the missing items from the store. No one's been arrested, but anyone with information is asked to contact police. We have new information. The Decatur Fire Chief says 10 fires over the last 2 days could be arson. They kept crews busy all night, working to cover as much ground as they could. WCIA 3's Cole Henke has more.
The Decatur Fire Department responded to 11 fires in 48 hours. Decatur Fire Chief Jeffrey Abbott said they normally see around 11 fires in 1 month.
ability to handle the volume of calls that's coming in all at once is kind of difficult. But you know, the guys work hard. They do the job. We try to bring in reserve apparatus, staff them, get the people, you know, to the different stations when we can. And so far, everybody's doing a good job.
The Decatur Fire Department fought fires like the one that took place here in this vacant home on North Edward Street with limited resources, while neighbors watched and feared for the safety of their own homes on the block.
They going crazy, everybody's screaming, and basically there wasn't too much firemen really available, so it was a hard time for them to take the fire down.
The department's strategy in approaching each fire varied on the location.
The case last night of the first fire on Edward Street, you have a very large houses in that neighborhood are very large, and they're 10 feet apart. So to say that because this one house is a vacant house, let it burn down, we could end up burning the block down.
There is no connection so far to other vandalism around the city from the last couple of nights, and no evidence to say they are linked to any of the protests in Decatur.
We're not having any problem at the fires with the crowds or anything like that. I mean, they've kept their distance, they've been respectful, and you know, haven't given us any problems.
Right. Reporting in Decatur, I'm Cole Hankey, WCIA3, your local news leader.
The Decatur Fire Department brought in the state fire marshal to investigate the cause of the fires. Chief Abbott isn't sure when those results will come back. We have an update on a crash in Decatur that killed 4 people. The driver has been charged with driving drunk. Police say 24-year-old Demetric Dixon ran a red light and was hit by a semi yesterday. It happened at East Grand and North Water. Police say Dixon ran from the car and later went to the hospital where he was arrested. There were 5 passengers in the car. 4 of them have died. One community in central Illinois is remembering a high school senior who died. The coroner confirms 18-year-old Devin McCuliza drowned in a pond last night. He recently graduated from Rochester High School. WCIA3's Gabrielle Franklin talked to school leaders about how the district plans to keep his memory alive.
It's a sad day here at Rochester Schools. This has been a tragic accident that's resulted in the loss of one of our own.
Family and friends in Rochester are remembering Devin McCuliza. Rochester School Superintendent Dan Cox says he just graduated Memorial Day weekend, making today all the more sad for his classmates and friends.
You know, this loss affects everyone in our school family, but it also affects everyone in the Rochester community. And we're doing everything we can to help in the healing process, and we appreciate the support that we've had from our community. And yes, it's challenging to get together in an environment where we're trying to maintain distance and safety, but we're not letting that change the fact that we're going to take care of each other. We're in this together, and we're going to get through this together.
The Sangamon County coroner says McCuliza drowned in a pond Sunday night. His death comes less than a week after the coroner's office found the body of a man they believe drowned in the Sangamon River. Sangamon County Rescue Squad's chief says it's unusual to see drownings happening back-to-back in the area, but he is urging people to stay safe as the weather gets warmer.
Age means nothing. If you're a good swimmer, that doesn't mean anything. Sometimes you just get in the right situation or in the river, start to panic. Once you go underwater once, then you're fighting to get air, and that creates the issue and creates the drowning.
In Rochester, Gabrielle Franklin, WCIA3, your local news leader.
Rescue personnel say if you are going to be out near or in any natural body of water, wearing a life jacket is a must. Although Rochester High School already honored their seniors with diplomas, school leaders say they're planning a ceremony to let them walk across the stage in July if possible. Their superintendent says they plan to recognize McCuliza during that ceremony. Stores were broken into and looted. 2 days later, some have reopened their doors. We'll show you that. And also tonight, protests continue and testing sites are shut down. So what does that mean for COVID-19 cases around the state?
And as we look outside here today, a lot of sunshine and recap today. 94. Wow. That's actually not even close to the record. The record today was 103 degrees. Okay, coming back. Another warm day coming at you tomorrow. We've got to talk about the severe weather threat and how there's more rain in the forecast for this week. We'll do that next.